This is 7:30 Tea with Ree.
So I'm like, oh my God, I'm literally stranded in a flooding canal.
He's like, oh, I hope you don't mind. I invited my friends.
When he pulls up to pick me up, he's in a weird looking van.
Ree is spilling all the tea. Hello, everybody, and welcome to 7:30 Tea with Ree. It's a tea droplet episode, so that means we are spilling the tea from our sippers at the coffee shop. I got a couple of people to come up to the mic, which was nice, and by a couple I mean like two, and that's like good for like getting people to get out of their comfort zone, because it's so hard to get people to come up at the mic at a coffee shop, you know, like I feel like people aren't as spontaneous these days. Not everybody, you know, but like a good amount of people that you meet, like sometimes they're just shy, or, you know, maybe it's just not their thing. But I got a couple people too, which was cool. I also, this was so exciting. So if you guys remember, in like some episodes ago, I talked to you guys about how I was doing this little secret anonymous box that I would leave at the coffee shop to see if people would leave secret notes in there. So I put like a little mini journal in there with a pen and you know, like the papers and everything like that. And I left my business cards in there. And if you scan the QR code, you can also submit a story through the link on that QR code. And it could be like little mini stories or little mini secrets. But I left the pen and paper, the little journal thing in the box so that if people want to share a quick little anonymous secret, they could. So I got two, which was like awesome. Like one girl left one in there and then she DM'd me on Instagram, and I was so excited because she was like, oh, hey, I just wanted to let you know, like, I think your vision is really cool. I really like your passion. And I left a note in your anonymous box. Like, that's so cool. And it made me feel so good because I was like, oh my God, shit, I'm getting noticed? Like, what? Like, I was so happy. So yeah, she left it in there, and so we're gonna be spilling one of her things. And then I also like went up to someone and I told them like, hey, you know, like, why don't you leave a note in the box? And the funny thing is I never thought to do that, to just approach people at the coffee shop with that instead. Like, I think I may do that more often, honestly, because I think people feel more comfortable writing something down rather than coming up to the mic sometimes. So maybe I can at least get more of those, you know? Also, if you hear a little bit of driving around and stuff like that, I'm literally in a parking lot because I have to go to my part-time job right now, and this has been like the craziest week. It's been so hectic, and this is like my main time to record right now. And yeah, so it's just been kind of hectic. I have to like give a lesson in a little bit to a little girl. I give her the vocal lessons every Friday. So I'm going to be doing that soon in a little bit, but I just figured I'd at least like start recording, and then probably after I'll finish the rest of it. But oh my God, when I tell you guys, today has been the craziest day. I'm exhausted already. I'm like literally exhausted. How are you guys doing, by the way? Before I even talk about this, think about how you were feeling today and literally swipe up and let me know right now if I posted anything in my socials. Like, reach out to me, tell me how you've been. But let me tell you what I did today. So this morning, I had to plan something for like a little family dinner tonight or whatever. My sister wanted to like re-celebrate her birthday because she went away on a trip or whatever. And so we never got to have like a family dinner for her. So I had to plan that with her this morning. And so now we're doing that later today, which I'm hyped for. You know, it's always good to have a family dinner here and there, and it just feels nice and intimate. You're just, you know, with your family. And also my boyfriend's gonna be coming to that, which I'm hyped about because then he gets to know my family a little better, so I'm like hyped. But I also, this was not on my fucking list today, so I went to go drop off like all of my sheets and my comforter to the laundromat, which I don't do that often, like go to the laundromat. Like, I usually just do my laundry at home, but my comforter is goose down, so it's like really thick and heavy, so I need to get that done at the laundromat sometimes. And so I went there, and it just was so out of the way because I also had an appointment to get my belly button re-pierced, because I got it pierced all the way back in 2021, and like the beginning of this year I wanted to take my piercing out for a second to let it breathe, but when I tried to put it back in, it closed up, and I was like, fuck. So I had to get it re-pierced. And on top of that, not only did I have that appointment, what I had completely forgotten, I forgot that I had a little podcast meeting or whatever, because I was asked to be a guest on this other podcast called Act and Analyze, which if you guys have not heard of them, search them up right now. They are on Apple and Spotify. Search them up right now. They're actually, one of them I went to school with. This girl named Tyler is one of the hosts, and then this girl Maggie is the other host. So Tyler and Maggie host the podcast Act and Analyze, and it's a really good podcast. They talk a lot about like media stuff and mental health and stuff like that. It's really, really good, and they're both really good hosts. They're just now starting their podcast, but they are honestly so smart and so kind and so funny and empathetic. Like, they are really good to listen to if you just want to like relax and try to hear something that's motivating and inspiring, and also just something that's insightful. So go listen to them and subscribe and stuff. You guys will be hearing me on their episode. So yeah, that's what I did today. Is I was a guest on their episode today. I did it via Google Meet, and I had completely forgotten about it. Like, and the funny thing is, this entire week, like the beginning of the week, I was like, okay, yeah, I have the podcast meeting with them. Like, I'm going to be on their podcast and everything. And then today came and I completely forgot. And so I had to do my laundry at the laundromat. I had to go there, put everything in the washer and everything like that. And while my stuff was in the wash, I set my alarm. So while I was on the Google Meet call with them, my alarm went off, and I felt so bad because I thought that it like interrupted it, but it was fine. We ended up having so much fun on the podcast episode. I was like so glad and so excited, and I felt so refreshed after too, because we talked about some really interesting kind of topics. We talked about like cancel culture in the media, stuff like that. It was really nice to go like really deep on a topic. I said like a lot, sorry. But it was just so great to talk to them and get into different perspectives, things like that. It was really great. I definitely want to have them on my podcast as well. I want you guys to meet them, have them as guests. So that will probably be coming soon at some point too. We gotta plan it. So yeah, but oh my god, it was so hectic today because I had the laundry, and now like my stuff's in the dryer. I still have to pick up my laundry when it's done, but I have to do that after I give the lesson to this little girl. So yeah, and I also, I had like a billion things today. I also, on top of it, have to pick up my sister's present, because I never got her a present, even though her birthday passed. The only reason I haven't, because I usually am so good with that, I always get presents on time and everything, and I plan it out, but like, it had just been such a hectic ass month, and because she was going on her trip, and we never planned like a family thing for her, which we usually do, like, I didn't think to get one, because I usually do it on the day of. Like, anytime we plan events for her or anything like that, I will usually wait until like the day of or the day before to get her presents. And I don't do that for every single thing, but like, if it's family, like, really, sometimes I'm a last minute buyer. Like, sometimes I might plan things out way in advance and like it'll be set and done, but sometimes I just, might get it at the last minute. And the present always ends up still being creative and cute and sweet or whatever, but I just can't help myself. Like, sometimes I'd rather just get it, like, if I know exactly what I'm gonna get, I'll just get it closer to the time, Like, I don't stress about it that much, because I know that it's still gonna be cute, whatever it is, because I present things really well. I like to decorate things, I like to make it look sweet and cute and blah, blah, blah. So I don't always usually stress on gifts that much. So that's why I was like, I guess I'll just get it whenever we make a family event for her. And so, yeah, now I'm getting it today, but I wish I got it fucking sooner because I'm stressed. Now I have to go and pick up a present for her or whatever, and I'm recording this. Then I got the lesson with the girl, and after that lesson, then I gotta record the rest of this because I'm doing just half of this. And then after that, after all of that, I have to pick up like flea and tick shampoo and conditioner for my dog because my dad thinks that he has ticks, which I'm not sure of yet. I really just want to confirm that with the vet first, you know? So I gotta do that stuff. And then I also have to pick up my laundry. So basically, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and we still have the dinner tonight. But at least there's that, you know? Then I get to relax for a while, so I'm glad for that. I just am like, damn, like, I can't believe all that happened today. I actually even had one mental breakdown, and it didn't last long, but, like, literally, while I was planning everything in the morning, I was stressed as fuck. Not planning stuff for, like, my sister's birthday, but just planning out my schedule for the day. Like, I was stressed. I literally, because I was, you know when you feel a panic attack coming on, or you feel like a whole, like, you want to just cry and scream? So I literally, while I was getting ready to go to the laundromat, like I had just put everything in the car, I needed to cry. So I just put both my hands against the car and I counted to like 20. Maybe I counted to 50. I have no idea. I just like had to breathe and count so that I could get myself through it. And it's so like, it feels like it's silly, but it's not. You know, like maybe you might be listening to this and maybe you don't understand it. And you're like over literally your schedule. But like, yeah, when you're overwhelmed and you feel like you have to do a bunch of things in a day, like it can be really overwhelming at times. Like I felt so stressed because I was just like, oh my God, what if I don't get this done in time? And I have to do this and I have to do that. And then on top of it, I have a really hectic weekend too, you know, like tomorrow I have my podcast event in the coffee shop in the morning. And then after that, I'm going to the city because I'm going to be hanging out with some friends for one of my friends' birthdays, who I also have to get her a gift to. But hers shouldn't be hard at all. You know, it's going to be simple and cute. And then after that, like, you know, on Sunday, I'm also going to the Islanders game with my boyfriend, and I'm meeting his friends. It's going to be a double date. So I got a lot going on, and I'm just genuinely like, oh my God, I have to make sure I plan things right. So that's why I've been kind of bugging out, because I wanted to make sure that everything was done on time at certain times. And so, yeah, I've been running through the mill, y'all. Been through the mill. But anyways, enough about me and my little anxiety self. We're going to be getting into the stories, but before we get into these stories, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what this podcast is about. So if you're new here, I'm very happy that you're here, and this podcast is all about spilling tea and sharing your deepest, darkest secrets. So if you have any tea to spill, DM me on Instagram at 730tea with Ree, and you spell that 730 TEAWITHRIE. Or you can DM me on my main Instagram account at Rihanna Flores, and you spell that RIEANNAFLORES. And if you wish to be anonymous, please let me know. Your stories should be up to 500 words or less, and if you want to send an audio voice message in instead of typing out your story, just please keep it up to 5 minutes max. Thank you! So now we are going to get into our first little sipper story of the day. So this one was actually a recording that someone did. Someone was bold enough to do it. It was actually one of my friends that wanted to stop by. So I was excited for that. And this one was a wild story. It's like kind of crazy. This one was basically about how his mom's ex-boyfriend robbed their house. So yeah, we're going to give that a listen.
Alright, so boom, this story takes place around, I want to say, whoa, hold on, let me start all over again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Alright, so this story takes place around 2005, 2006. I think I was in kindergarten, you know what I'm saying? And My mom's, she went through a whole cycle of men. She had me while young, so she was dating while young, and I seen some of those men in my life. And she dated this one guy called Lewis, who we did not know at the time was a heroin addict. So it got a little real. Homie got kicked out the house, and we thought that was that. Then one day my mom picks me up from school and was like, did you bring your PlayStation Plus to school? Did you bring this to school? Did you bring that? And I'm like, hell no. Like, I would never bring any of those things. She brings me to the crib. Turns out the whole house is upside down because homie robbed our crib. He vandalized the crib, destroyed everything. Everything was turned inside out. My mom's money was robbed. My game systems was robbed. My toys was robbed. It was crazy. So my mom, being the strong, independent woman that she is, calls up a couple of her friends. They round up and they go to his house. She gets some of our stuff back, most of it, including my PlayStation, and has a big bag of his stuff as well. And on our way back, while we're driving on the highway after securing all our stuff from being stolen, she's dumping everything out the window on the highway, going 80 miles per hour. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just watching the whole time like, oh, okay, so this is what we do. Dumps everything out the highway. I'm pretty sure I seen a couple of cars swerve behind us because she was dumping shit out. And we get back to the crib. You know what I'm saying? We going through my stuff that's been stolen, her stuff that's been stolen, and some of his stuff that's been stolen. And he had a lot of video games that I wanted but couldn't play at the time because they were very inappropriate. So best believe I stole some of them games and hid them from my mom. And that's how I got Grand Theft Auto at the age of 6. You know what I'm saying? And word. That's about it, you know what I mean? So, ladies, be careful who you bring around your kids. Watch who you dating. And men, stop doing drugs, bro. Stop doing drugs, please. Put them down. Thank you.
Oh my god, this story, I forgot how funny this was. Like, I just re-listened to this because obviously, I was there when he recorded it, but like, I forgot how funny it was, and I had to re-listen to this while I'm doing this. But oh my god, it's still funny. It's still funny. It's crazy, but it's actually fucking hilarious. Well, okay, it's obviously like awful that he stole from you guys. Like, that's really crazy, especially him taking your PlayStation is really like, who the fuck does that? And you were only 6 years old. Who does that? That's so fucked up. That is so crazy fucked up. I was like, originally I was shocked that she didn't call the cops. Like, I was feeling like, why didn't she call the cops? But the fact that she rounded up some of her best women and was like, y'all, let's go and get his shit now. Like, I mean, at least you got your stuff back, but the fact that she took his shit too, oh my god, and threw it out the window on the highway, and you were 6 watching this shit. That's so crazy. I can't even, oh my god, when parents do petty shit, like, I never know how, like, what do you do in that scenario? Because I've been there. Like, I've seen my parents do petty shit before, which I will not be repeating what, because they occasionally will listen to this, so, like, I'm not going to repeat anything. But, oh my god, like, isn't it so awkward? If you guys have ever seen your parents do some petty shit, have you ever been like, oh my god, like, what do I do? Because technically you know it's not right, and, like, they know it's not right, but you're kind of like, ooh, slay. In this scenario, it is kind of a slight, even though it's wrong, okay, like, obviously I'm not gonna sit here and encourage you guys to, like, do it back, but, like, if I'm being real, sometimes I'm a little okay with petty shit, like, stealing from, like, your son. If someone stole from my son, if I had a son and someone stole from my son, like, his PlayStation, and he's only 6, I'm not even gonna lie, I would probably do this same fucking thing. I would probably take some of their shit and all of my shit back, take some of their shit, and I don't know if I would throw it on the highway just because, like, that's unsafe to the other drivers, like, I don't want to put anybody in danger, but, I would probably throw it in a dumpster or something, or I don't know. If anything, maybe I would throw it in a lake. That way, like, there's no possible way of retrieving that. Maybe burn it. I have no clue. That's so crazy, though. I'm like, it's kind of good for her. Is that bad for me to say? Like, maybe that's the petty side of me, but, like, come on. If someone took your kid's shit, like, come on. I would be pissed. Good for her. I don't care. Good for her. But that sucks that you had to experience that, though, and, like, that, you know, it's a lot. It's a lot to watch. It's a lot to watch. So, yeah, but thank you for sharing that story. It was really hectic and crazy to listen to, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was hilarious. I could tell you enjoyed telling it, even though it was crazy. You know, you were laughing in between. But yeah, it's the craziest thing I've ever heard. And yeah, thank you so much for the laugh and for sharing that. So yeah, we're gonna go on to our second story of the day. Now, this story is also an audio one. Someone was bold to come up. This was actually a random sipper that wanted to come up to the mic and speak and tell a story, so I was excited. So this girl had a really wild story that I've never heard this shit. So I call this one how the chicken actually did cross the road, because this girl had a chicken that was literally on the loose. So we're gonna give that a listen. It's the craziest thing. Let's give it a listen.
All right, here goes nothing. It was a nice day out. My brother came by to visit my son, and we have chickens in the yard. So he pulls up, windows rolled down with his van, stops by, says hi to us, leaves. He thinks he's alone. He's not alone. One of my chickens ended up in the back of his van. So he drove a couple blocks, and he didn't find out till he was a few blocks away, because the bird flew from the back into the front, scared the shit out of him. I don't know if I could say that. And yeah, so the chicken presented himself. He stopped the truck, jumped out, chicken followed him. So he ends up in the middle of the road, holding up traffic, bird in the middle of the road. He tried to get in touch with me. He couldn't get in touch with me. He called my dad. So now they're chasing the chicken around a parking lot that they ended up in. So my birds, they love me and they know me. So I came like maybe a minute later, and I see them trying to relentlessly get this bird. Long story short, I open my car door. I sprinkle a couple cookies on the ground. The bird jumps right in the driver's seat. And I drive home with her under my feet. But I wish I had it on video. I wish I could see his face.
Could you fucking imagine just like driving somewhere casually, you don't hear anything, you don't think to look behind you or anything, and like, you know, maybe in horror movies, like someone might sneak up behind you with a knife, you know? Like, you know, you've seen in horror movies, maybe someone might sneak up behind you. But could you imagine it wasn't a person, it was a chicken. Like, could you imagine a fucking chicken just flew up in front of you while you were driving? I don't know. I think I would crash. I don't know how he didn't crash. Like, and it's even crazier that the chicken ended up, like, getting loose and then, like, running in the middle of the fucking road and then into a parking lot, and they're chasing this chicken. I don't know. Girl, I can't do it. Like, I wouldn't be okay. I would be so stressed. Like, props to your brother for, like, chasing that chicken down and being so patient. I would have been so stressed. Thank God that you got there in time, though, to, you know, lure that chicken back into the car with cookies and stuff like that. That's so lucky, because it could have been way worse. The chicken could have been hit. Like, anything could have happened. So, like, honestly, oh my God, that's so crazy. I get scared when even a freaking, like, a bug goes on my car screen window, you know, like, even if a spider was like crawling on my car window shield, am I even saying this right? I'm so bad with cars. If a bug was crawling across my fucking window shield, I would die, and I have, well, not died, well, not died, but, you know, I remember one time I was driving and this big fucking spider just started crawling across my windshield, and I was just like, oh my god. I immediately stopped the car, and like, I don't give a fuck if it's on the outside. I'm seeing it move, you know? Like, that shit scares me. I don't want to see something creepy crawly moving. I don't want it to be in front of my face, especially that close. Even if it's on the outside, like, it's so scary looking. Like, this is why my washer fluid is low as fuck, because I keep rinsing the spiders. Like, I'll be like, if I see a spider crawling there, like, you best believe I'm using that washer fluid and the wipers to like zhush that thing down, because I want it down, you know? Like, I would die. So the fact that he managed to not crash the car while a chicken flew up is insanity to me. I'd be so startled. I would have easily crashed. So again, that is wild. Props to your brother for being so patient, and props to you for catching that all in time. So yeah, anyways, thank you so much for sharing that story. It definitely gave me a good laugh. I'm sure it gave a lot of you a good laugh too. So thank you so much for sharing your story. I thought it was fucking hilarious. So yeah, anyways, we are gonna get into the next little sipper share today. So this one is from the book I was telling you guys in the beginning about, the anonymous book that I left in the coffee shop. So these ones are a little shorter because, like I said, they're kind of like little quick secrets. So someone wrote down in here, they said, "My crush has been hanging with another girl, so I'm thinking of casting a full moon love spell. Hee hee." When I read this, I was like kind of hyped, because I was like, girl, I feel you. Like, girl, I've been there. Like, do you know how many times I have thought to like cast a spell or actually done it? Well, okay, I haven't always casted a spell, just because like sometimes those are fucking intense. Like, they always have you try to get all of these ingredients, like this equipment and shit. Like, I remember one spell, I think it was like, get some animal bones. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what animal am I killing? Like, what? I don't even remember what it was. There was some spell I saw, it was just like wild. Like, you need all of these fucking ingredients, and I'm just like, what? But, you know, there's probably other simple ones where it's like you say "mote it be" at the end, and like you do it during the full moon, or you get a specific type of sage, or you just meditate with rose quartz. Like, there's so many ways to cast a spell, but like some of them are really intense. Girl, I hope it went well. And that sucks that you started seeing another girl. Like, I'm mad for you. I hope that, you know, it ends up working out and he picks you instead. But at the same time, also, like, if he's, you know, hanging out with another girl, and like, let's say you guys were already talking and he chose to hang out with another girl, then fuck him, you know, you deserve better. But if it's the case where like you guys haven't gotten to know each other just yet, and you just know that he's been seeing someone, but you guys haven't gotten familiar in that way, you know, try to either, I don't want to like encourage you to just like take someone's man, but also like, you know, if, I mean, he's not in a relationship. If he's single, like, it is fair game. If he is still single, it's fair game. Like, go ahead and try to press a move. Make your mark. Stake your claim, you know? If he's your crush, go get him. And you don't have to do a love spell for that. You could just win him over with your charm. I believe in you. You got this shit. Go get your man. But if he is, you know, being difficult or anything like that, he's got me to deal with. No, but if he is being difficult or anything like that, just know that sometimes it's not you. Sometimes it's just them. And, you know, in that case, you would deserve better. But if not, if he's chilling and you got a chance here, go for it. And just, you don't got to cast a spell, though. But if you do, instead, I would recommend my crazy ass. I used to do this shit all the time. Fucking on YouTube has these what are they? They're like it's that sound. Hold on, I gotta think of this. Oh my god, okay. The subliminals. If you I swear to you, these subliminals fucking work. I don't care. Search up subliminals on YouTube for making your crush like you, and I swear to you, that shit has worked for me. I don't care what any of you say. Maybe I do sound crazy, but like, it has worked. They have reached out during that. So try that shit, if anything. But you never heard it from me. Anyways, we're gonna get into our next little note that was shared. So this one was just a cute, sweet one that someone left anonymously, where I was like, "Aw." So this one, someone wrote down in the little journal, and they said, "Life can be as beautiful as you want it to be. Stay positive and spread love, and good things come to you always. Peace." That was so slay. Like, even though it was like cute and short, like, I just thought it was sweet. Like, I was like, you know, some people need to hear that sometimes, because it is true. Like, life is honestly what you make it. There's so many people I've seen, well, or like, you know, hear from, where sometimes if I haven't seen someone in a while, or sometimes if I'm, you know, talking to certain people, I notice that they tend to focus on just the negative things that have been going on. And it's okay to rant, it's okay to let things out, but some people will overdo it without realizing it. And there, like I said, it's not like there's anything wrong with it, but sometimes you've got to still take the time to be grateful for the things that you do have. And I think people forget that sometimes. You know, it's easy to get so wrapped up in all the things that are bothering you and pissing you off and let it overtake your whole day, when in reality, like, there's so many things that you could be making of your day. If you're having a bad day, try to make it better for yourself. Don't make it worse, you know? Like, let everything out, but then after that, try to pick yourself up and try to push yourself through the rest of your day and make it positive for yourself, you know? So I just think life truly is what you make it, and as long as you try to, you know, make sure that you let everything out, but then try to make it a positive experience for yourself after, so that you can enjoy the rest of your day and you don't make the whole day a bad day, and then you try to spread love to others, it will genuinely, like, come back to you in a good way. You know, that's what good karma is. So yeah, that's what I have to say on that. But anyways, we're gonna get into our last little thing of the day. So this one was sent from our sipper, and this sipper sent it on DM. It's actually a quick little update. Someone sent a like mini update, and I was excited about that because I was like, ooh, an update, you know, like we always want to hear updates. So we're going to refer to season 2, episode 14. So if we go back to that episode and you listen to the third story in that episode, then you'll know which story I'm talking about. So if you haven't listened to that one, go back to that episode and that story. If you don't want to go back and listen to it, I also did write down in story order on that episode description section. So if you go to the description section, then you'll know which one I'm talking about. But to give like a brief little overview, it's basically the one where this girl and her baby daddy were together and they had a baby, and he wasn't involved at first, and then he became involved, and then he ended up dating some other girl, and then he basically was kind of playing the listener and this other girl and kind of cheating and stuff like that. And the other girl was also being petty. So that was kind of like a little brief overview. I hope that was like as good and nicely brief as I could be. But if you want more context, of course, just, you know, either listen to that episode with the story, or you can check the description on that episode. And like I said, it's season 2, episode 14, and it was the third story told in that episode. So yeah. But anyways, now that I gave you a little bit of context, this update says, we broke up for good in the beginning of September last year, and I just found out this morning that he got together with someone else while we were still together. It was 2 weeks before our breakup, and him and that girl are still together. Okay, when I read this, I was like, that is so fucked up, because it sounds like he's a serial cheater, because first he was with you, and then he broke up with you to date some other girl, and then he pretended that he broke up with that girl to have sex with you while he was still with that girl, and then he broke up with that girl, and then I think he tried things with you or something at some point, and then he ended up dating, now there's another girl that he's dating, who he started dating while he was with you. That is like a lot of shit. I don't even understand how he's balancing all of that. Like, I feel like cheating is a lot of work to do. I don't understand how people do it. I don't understand how they, one, think it's right. Like, I don't know how they think it's morally correct. And I don't understand how they can go and actively see someone that they're in a relationship with while seeing someone else and not feel an ounce of guilt. Like, I'm sure maybe some people do feel guilt from it, but I just don't get how they have it in them to continue it and not even give a shit. Like, that will always shock me. And on top of it, I also just think, like, what is the sense in doing it? That's a lot of juggling and balancing. Like, could you imagine? Like, a lot of people can barely handle doing just fucking one relationship, you know? And balancing a relationship with, like, work life and, like, friendship life and, like, hobbies and stuff like that is a lot to do. So could you imagine cheating on top of it? That's a lot. Like, that's a whole double life. Could you imagine living two lives? I couldn't do that shit. And I've stressed that in other episodes too, but I will just never understand it. I think it's crazy and it's fucked up. But just know, you know, you deserve better and you will be doing better, and I'm sorry that happened to you. It's really fucked up of him. But, you know, karma's a bitch, so I'm sure it'll come back for him at some point. But it's good that you got out when you did, and at least you're trying to do better for you. So I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry, and I'm here for you, and we're all here for you. But thank you so much for sharing that. I always like to hear updates. I hope I hear another update from you soon, where hopefully you're in something way better or you're doing something really nice to focus on you. So keep us updated on how it goes still. And I wish you the best of luck. So yeah, that was all of our stories today, guys. So thank you so much for listening. It always means the most to me. And I always enjoy our time together on here. Whenever, you know, I get to talk to you guys, it feels really relaxing. So yeah, you guys are a breath of fresh air to me. Anyways, we're going to be closing out this episode with our sound healing. So let's clear up all the energy we just let out. So yeah, sit back, lie down, relax, shut your eyes, take a deep breath in from your nose and out from your mouth. And I'm gonna play. Alright, you guys, thank you so much for listening today. It always means so much to me when you guys join. And if you are new here and you made it this far, it means the absolute most to me. Thank you so very much. And, you know, if you have not subscribed or followed me in my socials and all of that, go give all of those a follow. Subscribe to me right now. Give me another chance to be heard, you know, listen to me as much as you can. And yeah, all of my socials can be found in my description area and stuff like that. So yeah, continue listening. I hope you do. And I hope you guys have the bestest week ever. And I love you guys all so much. Goodbye.